What's up, everybody? Well, I got another Asus Ally gameplay video for you guys today, or at least I hope I do. Today, we're going to try some PUBG. Now, I'm going to attempt to play this with the controller at first. I just kind of came over here and did the little controller settings thing and just using that official layout. So hopefully it will work. But if it doesn't, then I'm going to have to suck it up and go grab the dock and see if that will work. Because the dock, I was worried if I plug it in, a lot of times it would make my screen on the Ally just shut off. But I think that was just because it was hooked up to a monitor. I think if it doesn't detect signal, I don't think it would turn the thing's screen off. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think it will. But hopefully we can just use this, because I feel like most people with the Ally just want to play the Ally as a handheld. They don't want to use it like hooked up to a dock. Although some people out there like that, because I can understand that being pretty cool. You know, you just go home with your Ally, plop it in a dock, have that external GPU hooked up, and then you can plug it into a big monitor and use it like a desktop. I mean, the CPU is actually pretty fast. You could even do you could actually easily run a YouTube channel off this thing. Like a simple one. It would be one like mine probably. I don't think the big time YouTubers could possibly edit their over crazy edited videos on here. It would take like probably 7 hours or 7 weeks to encode on here. But for someone who just wants to do a basic thing like me, I think you could do that no problem. Only thing I'm worried about with the video editing is I feel like the 16 gigs of RAM might get in the way, seeing as though it also has to share that with the GPU. So in my setup, I've got it using 6, because that seems to be a good middle ground. Around 10 gigs of RAM for the game and Windows and all that shit, and about 6 gigs of VRAM for the game, which should be plenty on something this little with only a 1080p screen. But in any case, hopefully this will work. I have to wait for it to update. It had a 5 gig update. I thought I had everything good and ready to go, but of course, I come to go start the video and I'm like, oh, well, it's got 5 gigs and I've got really fast internet, but unfortunately it's going like as slow as possible. How slow is this thing going right now? Nothing. It's going up like kilobytes. So I'm probably gonna have to just on this thing, if it ever happens, all you really have to do is this. I'll just show you guys live. This is what I do. If it's gonna work, just come in here, shut your internet off, turn your internet back on, and then usually it will get a better connection and stop going at like 1 megabyte a second. Yep, there we go. I mean, I'll take 4.7 or whatever is still slow as shit, but I'll take that over kilobytes any day. So I guess we'll let that do its thing and then we'll get into a game. Sorry about the long intro, but I just want to explain what was going on here.
All right, so here's the settings we're gonna try first. Here's 1080p. I got it pretty much just on low settings for the most part, just so we can get like as many FPS as we can get. And all of a sudden the music just came in. That's very random. I don't know what the hell is going on with that, but hey, at least now we've got sound. I like sound. And it's not easy to use the freaking mouse here, but there we go. But in any case, sorry that took so long. It's really hard to use a thumbstick as a mouse. But anyway, let's get into the game. All right, here we go. In the little starting area where everybody's popping in. So this part is going to get like the worst FPS and be the most stuttery for sure. But still playable FPS even with all that. So that's cool. And this feels really weird to play with a controller, I can tell you that much. Trying to figure out what the hell all the buttons are. Alright, time to start the match. Alright, where shall I fly to? Kinda wanna go somewhere where I hopefully won't get instantly shot in the face. Especially because I'm playing a controller right now. I'm not that great at this game even with that keyboard and mouse, but hey, still worse with the freaking controller. We're all high in the sky, why not get high? Look at how many battery percents we've gone down just before we even hit the ground. I'm really hoping the Ally X can at least get like comparable battery life to the Steam Deck OLED when playing games, you know? Because when you play in a higher end game, like a AAA title or something with higher graphics, it usually gets 2 hours and 20 minutes to 2 hours and 45 minutes. But then you play the easier to run games and it starts going up to like 3-4 hours, and the really easy to run stuff can be like 8 to 10 hours. Like if you're just playing like emulated stuff and you're able to turn the wattage way down. Man, this is so weird to do. I remember when I used to play this, you'd like open up a menu and like drag and drop everything into your backpack really fucking fast. I don't know if they just changed that or if I don't know what the button is for that anymore, but it's all good. At least I can pick stuff up. I figured I was just gonna be completely defenseless. Although I doubt I could hit the broadside of a barn with this thing. But hey, at least I have it. But in any case, why don't we go ahead and go move on to the next resolution. Now we shall try 900p. Basically the same settings other than that, but still wanted to show you guys just for the people that only care about that one resolution. So that we'll know instead of me just going, oh, it's 900p at the regular resolution, and then I have to go for the regular settings I had at the beginning, and then I have to go back to the original beginning of the video, and who wants to do all that? And there we go. Now to the game. Here we go. 900p at the beginning of the match, just like we did at 1080p. Just to kind of see a worst case scenario with like everybody basically in one freaking area here. And more people constantly spawning in. Can I climb up this truck? I can. Can I stand on this? Sort of, not really. I'm more standing on the edge of the thing more than the smokestack, but still. Alright, up into the plane we go. Well, definitely getting a lot more esports levels of FPS now. It was still very playable before, but definitely getting a lot higher FPS now, although that might change once we go and drop onto the ground. But so far it looks like probably like 5 to 8 FPS more. Maybe even 10 at some times. Oh, I didn't want to do that quite yet. Oh well. I kind of keep messing up on that. Although I kind of do want to go far out so I don't get insta-killed, so... We'll just fly for a little bit before we land someplace. And hopefully I won't die. Alright, well, somebody's going over there, I think. Yep, there's a guy right there. So we'll land over here and go someplace else. Because he's way ahead of me. He will get to a house and guns before me, and he'll just kill me. So let's just run this way for a little while. Alright, now let's move on to 720p. Alright, and now 720p here. And same settings as before, other than the resolution, but still, let's look over it real quick. If I can hit the dang advanced tab, this thing is so hard to control with the dang thumbstick, but it is what it is. Come on, there we go. And there's all the settings we went with. And now, why don't we go and get some gameplay? Alright, now let's get ourselves a little gameplay here at 720p. See what kind of frame rate we get. Obviously, it's not going to be great in the starting area with everybody spawning in. And there's never going to be that many people in one spot again throughout the whole game, but... trying to also figure out what I can get away with jumping on and what I can't. It's been a minute since I played this. And I might have played this one other time on the Ally a long time ago, I can't remember. But it's definitely weird to play with a frickin' controller, I can tell you that. Alright, where shall I go now? Guess somewhere over here. I think I have earned another little hit. Alright, let's get down to the ground here. Yeah, the Ally X should be here pretty soon. I think it comes, or it ships the 22nd. I don't know when it'll get here. Probably a day or two after that. Be great if it gets here same day it ships. Doubtful though. But hey, I can dream. I'm an impatient person. I don't like waiting for stuff. But sometimes you can't. You have to just wait. Same thing with the camera. I got myself a new camera since the other one's been acting up. And I'm gonna find a place to go fix it too. So I'm going to fix that, and then I'll have two in case the other one breaks. Then I can just take that to the place, get it fixed, and always have one, you know? And they should be of pretty much equal quality. Although the new one should be a little bit better, you would think. Better not be worse anyway. But, anyhow, let's go grab a couple more things here. Like this first aid kit. And now, why don't we go ahead and move on to camera. Alright, let's try to get a little camera recorded gameplay now. I might just die, but if that's the case, then I'll just shut the camera off and we'll go join another game. No big deal. Though I'm hoping I have enough battery. Only got 35% battery here. And I wanted to play for at least like 5 minutes or something like that. So I don't like getting it under 20% battery. That's not good for the battery. To
technically, I mean, unless this has changed, the general rule was keep it over 20% and keep it at under, or 80 or under. And only go up to 100% when you really need it. Now, I have not been listening to that, because if you only put this to 80, then you're really not going to get good battery life. I'm going to get sniped in the face, probably. I'm going to open like this. Definitely hear some gunfire in the distance. Definitely very weird to play this with a controller, seeing as though it's a keyboard and mouse game. Man, it doesn't seem to run too bad. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of playing on that old little desktop, just like I was expecting. These are about the same FPS I was getting. And I was playing at 720p with everything on low. So yeah, this GPU really isn't too far off a GTX 1650, really. I know it's a little slower, but this thing's CPU is way faster than that old i7 2700, so. And these kind of games do tend to like having a powerful CPU. So I don't know how much it matters when you have a GPU like this, but hey. Oh, that was weird. It seemed like the terrain kind of glitched out for a second there. Ooh, that was a pretty big stutter. Those are the kind of stutters that usually get you killed in these games. I was going to say, it's been a pretty damn smooth experience, but I'm glad I didn't say that, because half the time I say that, then the games love to stutter and just put a sock in my mouth. Technically, I ain't foot in the mouth, but still. But in any case, I think that's probably good enough for the camera recorded gameplay. So why don't we go ahead and go wrap this video on up? Well, alright guys, that's a wrap for PUBG on the Asus Ally, and it did better than I thought. I was expecting it to struggle to even get 60 FPS, but even at 1080p it was getting over 60, so maybe the Steam Deck, if you had Windows on it, could actually play at 60 to 80 FPS at 720p, you know? At first I thought that thing would be like a slideshow, maybe 40 to 60 FPS, but after seeing how this thing handles stuff, I think it could play it just fine if you just installed Windows on it, but like I said, I have this, so I have no want or need to install Windows on my Steam Deck. But it's an option for people where it's their only console/PC thing, you know? But in any case, other than the fact that I was severely disadvantaged using it as a controller, frame rate wise, I'd say it was pretty good. Definitely more playable for a casual person like me. But I would obviously still recommend most people, if you're gonna play a first-person shooter, you should probably hook it into a dock and get a monitor, get a nice little 14, or not even 1440, that's way too high. Get a nice 1080p screen with high refresh rate and FreeSync, and just have fun. Just get a nice keyboard and mouse, and you don't even need an external GPU. But if you have an external GPU on top of all of that, well shit, you're even having more fun now. You're gonna get even more FPS. Because it's not like the thing's CPU is that slow. This thing's CPU is actually a little bit faster, at least in single core, than my Asus G15 Advantage. I already did tests on that. I was like pretty surprised. And even in multi-core, they're pretty damn close. I actually think this one comes ahead on that too. And it does all of that while using almost no watts compared to my other one. But hey, it is what it is. Technology does advance after all. But in any case, that is all I got for you guys for this particular video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.